Can we go and segment into something I wanted to talk about? And you can cut this if you want to, but I want to just talk to you about it. So I think that do you feel like me and you are jaded when it comes to movies? And I say this because we've seen so
I
many.
know that you are, and I am definitely. Actually, I'm whatever the antithesis of jaded is. I'm that.
You've fallen more in love with movies.
As I've gotten older, and
And
I feel like you haven't. I feel like
yeah,
you've digressed in your love for films.
yeah, I think I have a more critical
Yeah,
eye to
I
it.
don't, man. I just love. To me, it's an art form, and it's a way to touch audiences. It's a
Yeah.
way to entertain. It's a way to. It's to me, it's the truest form of making somebody feel anything. I hated it. That's an emotion. I laughed. It was hilarious. I cried. I cheered.
But I do all of those things sometimes in one movie.
But I go for that because I felt like I can't get those emotions anywhere else in life. I might only get one or two of those emotions in any like social setting. Like if I go to a funeral, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna cry. If I go hang out with friends, I'm gonna laugh more than likely. I'm gonna joke. I'm gonna be serious if I'm at work or whatever. In an interview, say. But if I go to a movie, oftentimes you can experience all those things in an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours. It's to me, it's the truest representation of human experience and feeling human emotion in any other place in the world. To me,
Outside of just actually feeling those emotions.
yeah. But whereas in just everyday life, you can go a whole day maybe not experiencing any of that. Like for me, for example, working from home, that means I have no interaction with any human that day. So I'm probably not gonna feel any emotion at all that day, except for I guess however I woke up that day. Whereas if I go to a movie theater and see a movie, I can experience sadness, I can cry, I can laugh. Like in an Avengers, you're gonna do all that in a movie. Some days you may only get one or two of those experiences, and I can go pay to feel all of this, the whole gamut of emotions for 2 hours.
See, and to me, it's like it's very film specific. Like I have to want to go see the film. That's one, and that bar for entry. Every time I see a film, even especially when I see a bad one, it just seems like that bar gets raised. The barrier for even entry to want to go see a film has gotten so high now because I've seen so many, I guess, bad ones. You know what I mean? Or ones that kind of gave me a man experience, and now it's like I'm not so willing to go, and it has to really catch me.
So
Yeah.
you're right, and so there's sometimes I kind of battle back and forth with have I lowered the bar compared to you, but I don't think it's about comparing my experience as a moviegoer to yours because they're vastly different. It's like if I line up 10 different people and talk to them about film, their experience, their reason, their motive for going to see a specific film is going to be different. For you, you just know what you like and what you don't like. So you have the ability to filter out more than I think I do. And then you have people who are like different from us, which I call them like general public. They're usually only going to go for the big summer blockbuster because they want to go
The
figure
ones
out
that are popular with everybody.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to go see everything under that and in between that. That's why I'm there sometimes 3 times in a weekend. But
Yeah.
for you, you have found the ability, and it's a skill I think to be able to filter out the stuff you don't want to see that you automatically know. You watch the trailer, this is not for me.
But then it also well, I guess that's why I rely on you and other people. Like I miss some of the gems. You know what I mean? Like the hidden gems.
I think you do for sure. Yeah.
Definitely miss. But I'm just more critical of movies now too. So my enjoyment level's kind of lower. Not even kind of. It is lower because I've seen so much, and we've been around so long, watching movies for a long time, that we feel like we've seen everything, and we've seen it done better. And some of these films are just regurgitating the same stories over and over again, and they're not doing it as well
That is
as we
true.
think that we've seen in the past.
There is a lot of that.
And I start to think of, you know, maybe that's I know this is what other people that are older than us grew up. Yeah, the people that are older than us that grew up in a different generation of movies than us probably felt very similar. They're like, this is not the same as the movies when I was growing up. They were just better. And all this Indiana Jones stuff, I've seen that, you know, back in the 40s, you know, when I was a kid, it was done way better. I wonder if that's how we're feeling now. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I know for me personally, I can still I look at a movie from two different lenses and I'm doing it at the same time. It's almost like the left and right brain are interpreting the same movie and so I can get a dual experience from it. One side is looking at it from as if I was the director. I'm looking at it as like as a critic or the technical aspects. Love that shot, that framing, the lighting. I love the dialogue in this scene. The other side is just looking at it with pure childlike wonderment and enjoyment.
That's the part I'm missing.
And I have that more now at 44 than I did when I was 14, 24, 34. Like it's for some reason it continues the more I go to the movies and the more I dive into the technical aspects and learn about the history of film and cinema, I find myself enjoying movie experience more and more and movies more and more to the point where I can watch a movie in the theater and twists that are obvious to a lot of people in the audience. I'm like, oh, I didn't see it coming because I'm watching it from a pure standpoint of childlike
You're not trying to
enjoyment.
figure it out.
I'm
You're
not trying to figure it
compare
out.
it to another
So
film.
when the twist happens, or yeah,
It
something,
really gets you.
I was like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
But
I
then
guess I
after-
got to turn that off in my brain. I don't know how to do it.
That's the thing is how do you do that? When
Yeah.
you've already kind of locked yourself into filtering out so much content because you know it's not going to suit your type of film experience. That's the thing. We got to get you to cross over. Man.
I don't know how to do that. If you have any suggestions,
You know what we're gonna have to
let me
do?
know.
We're gonna have to figure out a way. I'll be here one weekend where I'll pick a movie to watch
Yeah.
that you would never pick, and then you go with me. You know what it is? Because oftentimes you go with your brother or you go solo, right?
Yeah, typically over someone. Yeah.
But so, and that's the thing. So that's the one thing about the theater experience that I've missed is I go solo 90% of the time. But there are so many movies that I've seen that there are some great conversational pieces and afterthoughts to discuss with somebody after.
Yeah.
I don't have that person. I think that can actually enhance the experience. Whereas we've talked about movies before in this podcast where you have to go to the ending explain. Well, you don't like that, and I like it because to me it enhances the experience. If you have
No, I
somebody,
do like that.
Some
Especially if I
movies.
don't understand.
yeah, but if you have a person you go with, like our brains and what we think, we can bounce those ideas off each other after and have a
absolutely.
great conversation.
All right, so a new Patreon exclusive is going to be dinner and a movie with Mike and Mulley, and you get to come out with us. You get to go watch a movie with us, and you get to discuss it
We're
afterwards.
gonna go watch Nosferatu.
Oh, good night,
No, we're not gonna do that to you.
dude! You've already made me watch. You and your New York friend there.
Yep,
Made me watch some scary movies last month.
I'm telling you, man.
So I did that already.
Yep.
And it was pretty good. I mean, to be forced to watch movies, not forced, but you know what I mean, like to meet a deadline.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I gotta watch these movies, and I'm doing it, and yeah, it opened me up some things.
All right. See,
So maybe we should do that. We do list of Mike opens Mully up to new movie
Hey,
experience.
you just talked about how like it's easy to sell me on a movie, and then we're opening up your.
You got to give me homework.
There you
is
go.
basically what it is. No, I think as we get to, we know each other very well already. But even doing this podcast more, like you're getting to know more my taste even more and more. So you'd probably be able to cater a perfect list of movies I haven't seen that I would enjoy. So maybe I'll just rely on you for that, and I don't have to worry about the rest of it.
Fair enough.